Hello, I'm Johnny Ferns with Singular Agronomics, and today I'm with...
I'm Rob Shortell from Agmerica.
Awesome, we're here today. We're going to start diving in more with sea kelps and some of their functions between 3 different stages. So we have our beginning stage, middle vegetation stage, and reproductive stage. Hey, we're here to talk about the second part of our 3-part series, and this is really right before or during that rapid uptake phase and where sea kelps best fit. Our last first part of this series, we really started to jump and go down that rabbit hole of what we can do to make everything balanced. Okay?
Sure.
So let's assume everything's balanced now. We get to this V5 right before rapid uptake. Where is the value to applying a sea kelp on a cornfield?
Oh, this is the best time, right? So this right is at V5, and I'd say this is about day 1 of the grow phase of crop development. It's a really cool time of year because you can actually start to see the plants grow. This is when the hormones and the roots, they're really going to start to take over. They're going to produce a lot of growth promoting substances, and they're going to make this plant start harvesting lots of sunlight. So we'll see today, we see some residue, we see some rows, and in a week or 2, we're going to see nothing but green out here. So this is a great time. When the roots finally meet up, this field is almost 100% efficient, and it'll capture everything that we put down on it. This is a good time for kelp. We've gotten out of that baby period when we're most likely to lose some of the weaker seedlings. We have good uniformity in the field. And now's the time when we have to start to prepare for the stress of herbicide application, and we have to prepare the plant to be nice and strong for that V6-7 timing when it's starting to really set the number of rows and the number of columns in the ear. So we like to use a cytokinin dominant kelp package here. That's our liquid 001, and we'll put it down with the herbicide, maybe right now, a little bit before, and make sure we have strong cytokinin dominance in these plants for going into reproductive mode. Give us a few more weeks. We're going to start to prepare for reproduction and then get ready for that next phase of development.
Okay, so we all know that rapid uptake phase. Not only
I love it.
The hormones are cranking up, plant absorption's cranking up. We talked about it on our product videos that we did that are on YouTube, but then also we talked about it on the podcast that we recorded too, about how much this plant gets cranking, and you watch that curve. So when you're making the application, you like you said, a cytokinin dominance, it's helping making sure that plant gets more reinforces that foundation.
Absolutely.
Before we're putting it on a lot more vegetative structure.
Yeah, that we have to prepare the plant to take in all of those nutrients. You have your plant right here.
Yeah.
But now we have enough plant. Most of your roots are made in the root tips, and now you have enough root tips that are actively white and growing that we're starting to pump, live signals up into this plant. Now you have some auxins here in the growing meristem that are starting to drip down to balance that. And where the root meets the shoot, that's where you have a net zero. So what we're able to do with a cytokinin dominant kelp application right now is we're able to really support and promote all of this new leaf growth, make this more nitrogen use efficient, so that when it does go to that rapid nutrient uptake part of the curve that we all like to watch, that we're the most efficient at capturing the nutrient that we put down here with our starter, or with our side dress, or with that V8 application of nitrogen. So it's going to really help increase photochemical efficiency and get these plants to the next stage of development.
Well, and maybe something I'll use to wrap up here and just to kind of rewind what you went through. So top of the plant, auxin.
Yeah.
Bottom of the plant, cytokinin.
Yeah, well, production-wise.
Okay,
yes.
Production-wise. But then, as of right now, that equilibrium point is at the growing point.
Absolutely, it's a net zero. If you actually chop this, and it's a lot of work, but hey, if you chop this plant in half, you get dry weights, and we could analyze it for different hormone profiles and concentrations, and you'll find it's really cool. your cytokinin to auxin ratio equals 0 if or equals 1. It's the same.
Okay, yeah.
Right
Zero,
here at that brace.
Okay, so like right there is the growing point. The moment that we get to that V7, V8, where that growing point comes out of the ground, does it always pretty much stay at that growing point as it's moving up?
Yes, the auxin's really cool. All the other hormones will maybe accept ethylene, it's a gas.
Yeah.
But they have to be actively transported and pushed up the plant. You know, whether it's in the turgor pressure or if it's by enzyme transporters and things like that. Auxin actually, you know, nothing to do with our conversation, but auxin detects gravity. So it's always dripping down the plant. It's made in the apical meristem and it goes down. So your auxin's going to get higher and higher away, or your source of auxin is going to get higher or further and further away from your source of cytokinin. And you'll actually be able to see this with brace root development.
Okay. Well, awesome. I mean, like we said, rapid uptake. A lot of things are going to be cranking in this plant. When we're doing a Kelp, we are helping make sure that we have a good balance within our plant hormones, but also making sure we have that foundation underneath us.
You need a good foundation
before we have a rapid growth stage.
Yeah, the roots are the brains of the plants.
Okay, so that is the second stage per se of where we saw where Kelps can fit. Now the next video we're going to really talk the reproduction side. If you want to dive more into Kelps, like I said, we have product videos that we specifically talked about that, but we also have a couple podcasts with Robert really diving into that. So take a look at that and we'll see you at part 3.
Guys, thanks for watching the content so far. We've got a whole lot more on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe there. We put a ton of content on there that's useful and applicable information to help on your farms and day-to-day life. So go ahead, hop over there. If you want more information, check us out there.